G'day folks, Andy here. This is Andy's World Journeys, and you probably can hear the sounds of RAAF planes flying around in the air above me. I am in Point Cook today, and we are checking out the RAAF Museum. Yeah, g'day folks. As you can see, RAAF Museum, Royal Australian Air Force. Now, that's where we're headed today. I'm Andy, a travel vlogger from Australia. I do a lot of around Melbourne and close by vlogs, as well as many from other countries. We are today going to the RAAF Museum, which is in the Point Cook RAAF Airbase. We are in Point Cook, which is not that far from Melbourne. Probably if you're coming here, see they give you these passes, then you're gonna need to drive, I would say. I'm not sure if you can get a bus out here, but definitely driving is the best option. And over here we have the RAAF base. Ticket, got it online. You just go to the website and it's actually free. They have what they call open days, which is, I believe, Thursdays and Sundays, and that's when you can come and access the museum. Over here, look at this big boy, would you? Look at it. Oh, bit of history in there. Shall we see exactly what we're talking about? So yeah, today we're going in there, we're gonna see some planes and maybe some more planes. But speaking of planes, this one's in plain sight. Oh, shut up, Andrew. This is the AP3C Orion A9751. Check her out. How about that? Actually was in action in the 1980s. So not as old as you might have thought. And we can probably get a better look of it once we enter the museum. Who's feeling royal? Don't think this is going to open for us. Here, oh, well, how about that? Right, well, that's up. Here we go, folks. It's a Thursday today, and we're here to check out the history and the planes. I think if you ask, you can get someone to take you around and tell you a bit of history too, which is not a bad thing, is it? There's a tour group. So there's this section. I think you can go out, you can possibly see planes landing and taking off. And then there is another hangar over that side, which we will finish on. Australia does have a proud flying history, not just in wartime, but in general, because, you know, we are a country with a sparse population spread over a very large area. Get your boots cleaned and your hair cut. You're in the RAAF now. I don't know if this has anything to do with the museum or not. I think it is. Oh yeah, there's more. Australia had a significant role in peacekeeping in East Timor not that long ago. Some may say there were some vested interests there. But, look. Over the years, Australia's been involved in a lot of conflicts, obviously, from the First, Second World War to the Korean War, Vietnam, East Timor, Iraq, Afghanistan. Basically, when our partners ask for help, we generally come. RAAF school in Penang, Malaysia. Here's a showing of the places Australia's helped out since the Second World War. And that's not the direction you want your plane to be heading. Obviously this is the First World War. The first war really to be fought using planes. Of course, here we are. This is World War I style fighting in the trenches, giving serious Blackadder vibes. To be perfectly honest, you think it'd make it a pretty decent target if it was flying across your airspace. The Morris Farman Shorthorn was designed and built in France by a pioneer aeroplane manufacturing company established by the Farman brothers. The Farman became the first aircraft to engage in aerial combat during World War I. Well, there you go. I wonder how that went. Well, one of them survived. De Havilland Vampire T-35. What prompted them to name the aircraft Vampire? Blood-sucking aircraft. The Avro 504K. Look at that engine, wow. Supermarine Seagull v Walrus. This was used in the Second World War. And of course, helicopter support, very important. Here are some of the machine guns that were attached to the planes. Wow. So this one here dates back to 1912. Like, I mean, you look at the wheels, and obviously, I think they were also. They look so flimsy. They look like something you get from a kit. I mean, this plane here, it's 113 years old. Look at this Bumblebee here, another de Havilland Vampire. But it certainly does have that feeling that this is a military aircraft, doesn't it? It's really something else to look at all these planes and think that they date back well over 100 years. The history is just incredible to think where we are in aviation in 2025 in just over 100 years. I don't think anybody could have imagined when they were building these sort of seaplanes and so forth, something like the A380. Not that the A380 would be a particularly useful military plane. It would not. Look at the torpedoes. You could pretty much fit a human in there. What a bestia. Look at the size of that one, Doctor. And if you do come, you might want to consider a tour. And although, you know, you can read about all the planes, as I have, you can hear some stories about battles and whatnot. Whatnot. What? Not. So over here we have one of these box-kite style planes, and this video, I've just been told, is a recreation of the first box-kite flight that landed at Point Cook Air Base in I think he said 1914, and so the plane has been put together by some enthusiasts. It's certainly not the original plane. Got a couple of modifications, such as a seat belt for the pilot, which apparently didn't exist back in the day. And anyway, they've got this video taken here that you can see, and yeah. They don't make them like they used to. The staff here are incredibly friendly, got no issues with me filming whatsoever. I've just had a good chat with a guy, his name was Wayne. He's fantastic, telling me some really interesting stories that I can now pass on to you. Just here, this board is full of things that were written by pilots who like, you can see, listen, I'm never gonna forget my landing clearance again down there. There's another one there that just says, I effed up. And apparently this was right at the end, and you know, once they'd landed, they were made, if the pilots had made a mistake, they were made to run down to the board, and they would often scribble something on it and then run back to the plane, and that could be, well, the board could be 2 or more kilometres away. Another thing that Wayne told me, this here is a, you know, this Vampire here, this jet airplane, has a single engine at the back there, but the fuselage is made of wood. That's right, wood. It was in service from 1955 to 1970. So not that long ago. And this here little bit of plane, the A13/159 or the A13-159, was used for simulation only, and interestingly, Wayne tells me that nobody is superstitious. However, no plane that was numbered with a 13 ever flew for the Australian Air Force, or has ever flown for the Australian Air Force. Okay, let's go check out the hangar. This plane here, as we walk to the hangar, is getting a paint job. As we head down to have a look at the hangar, today we can't go out and watch the planes land, unfortunately, but it is something that does happen from time to time. But apparently not today, and maybe more likely on a Sunday when they've got a bigger crowd. And also I think they were saying that, you know, aircraft has only so many hours that they can be flown, and there is the air show coming up at the end of March, which is probably before you've seen this video, and so I guess they don't want to exhaust all their flying hours. Anyway, we are coming up to the aircraft display hangar. Do not move the propeller. I guess someone did and lost an arm. Avro Cadet. And one of the things you've got to remember here is that we actually are on a military base. We are actually, this is on the same grounds as the actual RAAF base. And so here's a bit of a spotted history of this base here in Point Cook. And here, is that a shell of a plane, or is it actually how it flew? DH-84 Dragon was an airliner, became a warplane. And Australia, as I said, you know, big country, needed a lot of planes to get around. So I guess they had the planes to convert when they needed them. Sikorsky Dragonfly, pioneering airlift. This one dates back to 1951. This here is the prototype CAC Sabre A94-101, the first Australian-built Sabre. Not only that, the first plane to break the sound barrier in Australia.
Sabres flew a further 1,000 miles to Borneo until, against the outline of the radar of the RAAF already operating at Buckworth, the Sabres, 4 at a time, came winging in to make their Malayan touchdown.
Is it just me, or is this one giving out MASH vibes? Dun, 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 dun. This one certainly is. This one here, perhaps unsurprisingly, was used in Vietnam. Look, you've got your machine guns on either side. Wow. So I'm pretty sure there are barracks over there. It's just looking back here from outside the hangar, and the main part of the museum over there. And folks, we're coming to the end of this one. And this, I believe, will be my last vlog from Australia for a little while. Obviously, I'm filming this before I take off on my big round the world trip. That's right, you heard me right, round the world trip. So hopefully you'll be able to follow me on those adventures from, well, I'm going to guess next week, but it's hard to say exactly, but it should be next week. Look, that's if everything goes smoothly and goes well. And also perhaps goes shell, who knows? Who can say in this crazy day and age? Folks, if you are an aviation enthusiast and you're in Melbourne and you can get down here, and you'll need a car and you'll need your ID as well. They ask for a driver's license. So, I mean, I think you'll be all right with an international one, but I'm not sure. Then you're going to absolutely love this place. You get up close and personal with so many amazing military aircraft, and especially if you like your aviation history, you're going to go gaga at the old planes. Box-kite planes, just incredible. Cannot believe they actually flew. Go to the website, get your ticket. Doesn't cost anything, you just basically need to register. Thursdays and Sundays only. Thank you so much for joining me again on this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel to grow. I really appreciate it. So please do all those things. Take care wherever you are in the world. I'll be seeing you soon. May the journey never end.